Next, we have Kathleen Ferguson. Kathleen is a Newtown resident, an advocate for the immigrant community, and a leader in the Danbury Unites for Immigrants. So Kathleen will share what inspired her to join the organization and her first-hand experiences doing this important work. Thank you, Kathleen.
That's good. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. After the election last year, like so many others, I was horrified at what was happening in our country, to our country, and I was looking for a way to be of service. Then in February, at a Rock Our Democracy event in Newtown, I heard Juan Fonseca Tapia speak about Danbury Unites for Immigrants, and I found what I was looking for. Over the summer, the New York Times published a piece with Michelle Goldberg about the growing anger at Trump's mass deportation policies and the local resistance movements forming in response. Michelle said, quote, "No one is coming to save us. There's nobody exercising power on our behalf, with a few exceptions. So people feel like they have to organize to protect their neighbors as best they can," unquote. She called it Resistance 2.0, and that's what Danbury Unites for Immigrants is doing. We're helping families to make safety plans and alerting the community to ICE's presence wherever we find it. We provide moral support and bear witness by accompanying people to the courthouse and empower them to know their Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights in the event they encounter ICE. And we try to help those who have been taken by ICE and the families they leave behind. On September 3rd, a young man was kidnapped by ICE just across the street from the Danbury courthouse. I'd like to share a little bit about him, and as you listen, imagine yourself in his shoes. He's a husband and a dad of 2 small children. One of them is just 7 months old. He works hard to support his family. That day, he was jumped by armed, masked men, separated from his family against his will, and taken to a place hours from home where people are crammed, shoulder to shoulder, with little to eat and no means for personal hygiene. He was taken to a detention facility in Rhode Island. For weeks, he wore the same clothes he was wearing the day he was taken. The quality of the food was so bad and the portions so small that he lost weight. He was moved 4 more times to detention facilities around the United States, each time with no notice. At one of these, I'll call them concentration camps, people were starving. A fight broke out over food, and he was placed in solitary confinement. Eventually, our government deported him to Ecuador, leaving his wife and small children alone, lives shattered. We couldn't stop the kidnapping on September 3rd, and no amount of support can undo what was done to this family. But we did what we could. We mobilized. Rapid response volunteers arrived within minutes of the kidnapping and were able to connect his wife with our post-disappearance team. That's a group of volunteers who help find legal assistance, community services, and emergency support for immediate needs like rent, diapers, and baby formula. There's a GoFundMe raising money so that she and her children can make the journey to Ecuador to reunite the family. The good news is that we are a growing national network. People are organizing across Connecticut and across the country to help, to support, to resist, because no one is coming to save us. Join us, won't you? And if you're looking for a reason, I have 2. First, you can actively defend those who are being denied their rights. We know that people in the U.S., citizens and non-citizens alike, have the right to be free from unlawful searches, arrests, and detentions unless supported by a warrant or probable cause. But ICE is kidnapping people based on racial profiling that's condoned by the Supreme Court, with warrantless arrests and prolonged detention in overcrowded facilities with inhumane living conditions. You can make a difference. And second, you just might find your tribe. Since joining Danbury Unites earlier this year, my husband and I have met so many wonderful, talented, creative, and courageous people. We get connected and energized through the work, like court accompaniments, know your rights trainings, and canvassing, as well as social get-togethers that include 2 book clubs. So please stop by our table over there or join one of our regular welcome calls to learn the many ways you can get involved. Thank you.